Residents in southern Tasmania are demanding to know why cloud seeding was conducted over the Derwent River catchment the day before the worst floods in 40 years. Cloud seeding is a technique used to increase rain.
Does the ADEQ have the ability to take a position on this and investigate it further and find out where these toxic metals are coming from that are in our rainwater and in our blood? Thank you.
Is working to make sure we get every drop of rain possible out of this storm.
It shows us cloud seeding is now underway.
With a small pop and a puff of smoke, cloud seeding is done in the hills above Pasadena.
Well, we send up particles from the apparatus behind me that will seed the cloud. It'll go into the cloud, and this particle will be attracting water vapor inside the cloud, creating a drop of water that starts as ice, and as it falls to earth, we get heavier rain.
We've had a lot of cases where we were seeding storms that had no business being seeded. We were just kind of throwing darts, and we were seeing responses in some of those. So we are learning that maybe there's more opportunity with some of these. Maybe we don't even need to have a rain cloud. We could go work cumulocongestus clouds that aren't really precipitating yet. And if
radar-absorbing carbon fiber clouds tested under a variety of at-sea conditions using assets from the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force. These man-made clouds are part of a layered defense and are capable of preventing a missile from detecting and striking its target.
China is not leaving things to Mother Nature. The Chinese government is planning to employ upgraded weather control systems in Heilongjiang, Jilin, and Liaoning, the three provinces responsible for 54% of the nation's rice production. The project, which will continue until June, involves creating artificial rain using cloud seeding, special aircraft, rockets, and much more. China has been tinkering with the idea for years, but how controllable can the weather be? Skeptics.
Mr. Fletcher, another question on the in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn to
questions. Yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As
All right, guys, welcome in, welcome back. Reporting from FEMA Region 7. Man, we got tornadoes that are going to be popping off down in Texas. I think it's time to read the Declaration of Independence. If you haven't read that in a while, you better go read it. It's time. All right, let's jump into the main screen. We got all kinds of news to get into tonight. Feeling pretty good tonight. Feet are hurting. I actually walked around a lot today, so that's a good thing. So it looks like, let me just show how the shipping industry has done some cloud brightening operations, which definitely affects the weather. It's called cloud brightening, cloud whitening. We're not seeing any today, but you can we'll go back and see the when it started around the 25th. And ever since then, we've had these cycles with the same storms. I mean, it was really big time here on the 26th, 27th, 28th, all right here, 29th, still right here, the 30th. And then they stop the 31st into today. So the mission stopped, but we've had the same weather pattern ever since then. All them heavy metal particulates are getting into these storms, making the storms more electrified. That's why we have more severe weather at night. They're energized, and that's what we're going to have over Texas tonight. And tons of aerosols to go along with it, the aviation clouds. The weathermen call them contrails. We know what they really are. I had ingredients there on the thumbnail on the AGWN channel. We got a lot of dust storms. I keep forgetting about the dust storms. Look over here in Las Vegas, man. That's all dust. Dust and aerosols being deployed. Look at that. You can see the liners, the shadow of the liners. Fires popping off everywhere. All right, here was hit a bunch of, I got a bunch of articles we'll get into. And then we'll jump into the 16-day forecast. We got chat going. I'm feeling good. Doing good. Legs are hurt, but I'm good other than that. So we had a fire that caused door-to-door evacuations in Colorado Saturday night due to a grass fire. All this stuff, man, all the fire is going to be kicking in. We got fires burning in Colorado. I'm going to try to get through some of these because I got so many. We got 1 injured, 3 homes destroyed in New Mexico for the wildfires. So can't forget about the fire dangers that are going to be going on with all this wind. The wind machine. Death toll rises, 26 cleanup efforts begin. All kinds of tornadoes, all kinds of damage, all the people affected by these so-called climate change. They're even calling for baseball hot size hail tonight in Texas. We've had tornadoes in Texas, Iowa, Delaware. We had a tornado. New Jersey, we had a couple tornadoes. Funnel cloud forms Ohio's North Shore. Even Hawaii's getting them. We got another tornado outbreak in about 5 days for the Midwest. This is going to be up higher north. We'll dig into that in the 16-day. 2 feet of snow for Colorado mountains. We got, the north is getting all that, the thicker part of the bunker fuel, so it's really seeding the clouds. We've had some big earthquakes. I don't have a lot of the earthquake stuff up, but had a little 3.8 in Hawaii. That's not a big deal. Everything's poisoned out here from the Ohio train derailment. And then we had a train derail in western Montana. A freight train derailed in Paradise, Montana. We remember that name. You know, a lot of bad stuff happens if the town's name is Paradise. That's like 3 or 4 of them now. I talk about bunker fuel operations, and I'll talk about it here in a little while. I'll show you what it is and what it does to your health and what it does to the weather. We'll get into that real quick. I can show you. Well, it looks like an eyeball on that train. Not a good eye, too. The ones that are take over have already took over. Yeah, we had a 7.6 earthquake. No tsunami in Papua New Guinea. Arkansas, Illinois, 4 dead from the tornadoes. Probably more now. In Tusnia, they're going to cut off the public water supply overnight due to drought. They're stealing all the rain from one place, directing it to another with electromagnetic technology. Auckland Dairy Farm raided days before bollard assessment. Can do all kinds. They're having to do their own weather modification. Farmers can rent cloud ionizers, hail suppression cannons. They can do their own kind of weather mods. Pettis says they may resort to eating only what falls from the tree if plants can't feel pain. I'm not even sure what this article's about. Animal rights Pettis have said they become fruitarians and eat only what falls from the tree. Hey, okay. What's good for you is don't bother me. The insanity continues in the UK. Farmers will be ordered to feed cows methane suppressant to stop them from belching and breaking wind under government plans to reach net zero. These people are nuts. You know, they blew the pipeline up, and that's like the biggest ecological methane disaster. You got methane that's burning. It's been burning for hundreds of years in these weird holes and stuff. And they're worried about a cow fart and a burp. Insane, man. We had the giant meatball, the mammoth DNA meatball. You know, they're just making stuff up to change your DNA. They want us unhuman. Because we're in a big spiritual war right now. Italy wages war on lab-grown food and dried to protect tradition. Good. That's a good thing. Ban on cell-based food production subject to Parliament approval. You know, we're just lab rats like we always have been. If you go back through and look at the history at all the human testing they've done without people even knowing. This one actually was a little bit older article there. So apparently there's this new bill, 686, can give 20 years in prison for what they say is disinformation. The entire internet's going to be an AI spy system. We'll have to dig into that bill. That's Bill 686. And don't forget to look at the Declaration of Independence. Now we have other banks falling over. You know, they're going to crash our dollar. and they're going to go to the digital currency. It's going on worldwide. The only reason I was showing, Alex sent me this article. Look at the sky. Protesters block Dublin's airport entrance, causing traffic havoc. But look at the sky, man. They're just normalizing the man-made aircraft trails. You see it in commercials all the time. Oh yeah, here's some articles on the visibility from the dust storms. Near zero. All the wild winds, dust getting kicked up. Had a couple there. All right, don't need that. All right, let's go ahead and check the power outage map. So far right now, we got 15. Well, Pennsylvania has 46,851. Ohio, 23,000. Arkansas, 18,000. Texas, 15,000. 10,000 for New Jersey. And all around Maryland, you get about 1,900. Delaware, not too many. 1,900 for Maryland. Virginia still has 3,400 without power. West Virginia, 7,000. 8,000 for Kentucky. 7,000 for Tennessee. 1,100 for Mississippi. Louisiana, 6,000. Tons of people without power now. And I haven't even looked over here, so you got 23 for California. Surprised there's not more for the upper here. Minnesota, 26. All right, let's get out of that. Take a look at the radar to see what kind of warnings we got. I know tornadoes are going to be starting to pop off any time for Texas. Now, where'd all the data go? Yeah, right now we have a tornado warning. What in the world is going on with this thing? So we have a tornado warning in Texas right now. Several tornado watches. So they're already starting to pawn off. We got one tornado going right across Texas into Louisiana. This went through already. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into the 16-day forecast, and we'll look at the earthquake stuff and all the other stuff. Let me get a drink of the coffee here. Oh man, it's getting cold. I should have went and heated it up. All right, for the next 16 days, the target zones are just shifted down south a little bit. But the upper northwest is still going to get hammered in the exact same spots for the last 2 months. Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. So the next target zone is going to be over Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, right up into Kentucky. Then we got the second wave of it. All the same places are getting hit. Now, once that bunker fuel operation leftovers clear out, then we'll should be getting a new weather pattern change. And then right around the corner, we'll have hurricane season. All right, let's get this in to see what's going on here. Yeah, people are getting feet of snow. No longer measuring in inches. Now, there wasn't no aircraft going on, so I didn't even go there. Let me make sure you guys can see all this. All right, here we go. We're going to go up 6 hours at a time. We're going to talk about all the bad stuff. If it's not too bad, we'll just kind of pass through it. So starting right now, we got major storms going to be going through. This isn't really showing it very good, but major storms going through Texas. Right now, it looks like a pretty good rain bomb going in Oklahoma. And then here in the next 6 hours, this thing shifts to the east. Big rain bomb, tornadoes, nighttime tornadoes. And I mean, they're probably going to be pretty severe. So heads up in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, northern Louisiana. Going into Monday, and then it's just a rain bomb. So we go through Monday into Tuesday. Then we start getting a big wind machine again with a bunch of snow. The whole west. Montana, Idaho, Colorado, Utah. And this could be like a blizzard when it starts hitting Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. Ice storm, more power outages. It's a big system. So we're going to have a lot more power outages, blizzard type conditions, mega blizzards. And going into Wednesday, we're severe weather from Missouri, Iowa, all the way up into Wisconsin, into Michigan, and a major ice storm north of that. Blizzards on the backside. This is for Wednesday. And look at the size of that storm growing. And then another severe weather outbreak for the south, for Texas, Arkansas. Severe weather up here, even far north in Michigan. You could have tornadoes up there. Tornadoes in Canada. You could probably going to have snow-nados. This is for Wednesday still. Look at the size of the storm, man. Severe weather to the south. It's going to be worse than what it shows. I mean, this is like a huge system. Hundreds and hundreds of miles across. Going into Thursday. So the whole upper northeast ice storm. So you got to look out for power outages big time. Cold front's going to dip down behind it. This is a major storm right here coming in this week for everybody. Thursday, April 6th, more severe weather for the south, right over Mississippi and right there on the line of Alabama and hitting Tennessee and Kentucky. Same target zones, just a little bit farther south. And it's going to last into April 6th, Thursday, and re-fire up down in Texas. So this is going to be a big line of rain bombs, tornadoes, big hell. And it's going to continue through Thursday, Friday. Another big rain bomb pops off for Texas. The upper northwest getting hit, starting to get hit with the next wave. Temperatures are going to be okay. It's going to be pretty warm for everybody here on Friday, April 7th, unless you just live up in the Dakotas. See the rain coming in the west. More rain bombs popping off in Texas. Also way over here on the east coast. Going to have severe weather. Yeah, going into there. That thing ain't going to let up too much. For Friday, April 7th. More storms popping off down there in Texas. See, it's the same pattern. Going into Saturday, April 8th, Texas again, the Florida Panhandle, Georgia, rain bombs going on for hours at a time. Big storm over in the upper northwest for Washington, Utah, California. They're going to be getting hit. And then April 8th, Saturday, where they fire right back up in Texas, Louisiana. Another tornado night going up through Mississippi and then right in the same target zones, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee. We're starting to get these storms popping up over here by the Carolinas. That's a sign of stuff starting to pull over Georgia. Got to look out here on Monday, April 10th. And then it's going to go on up, more severe weather for the whole East Coast here. It's all going to come together. So really severe. If that thing stays on land before it gets that intensified, we're talking major flooding. So look out on Monday, April 10th, just in case that thing don't get kicked off. Like the low pressure systems are right over Virginia. And then, you know, the pressure's going to drop. They probably call this a nor'easter or something. Major wind machine, snow behind it. So here on Tuesday, April 11th, man. Let's see, is that going into the 10th? Yeah, April 11th. Definitely going to be a big-time storm for the upper Northeast. They're definitely going to call it bomb cyclone or something. Everybody's going to be warmed up after this except for this area. So this could be a major storm for the upper Northeast. Monday and Tuesday going into the 11th. Here we are on the 11th. Just cycle this on up. And then we go into Wednesday. It's still going. But look at the warm-up. The warm-up's going to go way up into Canada. I mean, way up there. And then this section of cold front. Got to get that out of there. Here we are on Wednesday, April 12th. Everything's looking good. Probably a few aviation tracks going to be around for a couple days before this. Other than that, we got pretty much clear skies for the whole center of the country. While rain's coming in the upper Northwest, trying to kick that system out. Oh yeah, this was. There was one storm that, man, it just. I don't know if we'll come across it or not. April 12th, Wednesday. It's going to be okay. Just some light snow for the upper Northeast, light rain for the Northwest. But everybody's going to be pretty much warm. I mean, this is dipping down pretty good, but it's going to kick out. So this will be our little bit of a break. Thursday, April 13th. Still in April 13th, and the next system from the northwest coming in. Major wind. This will be a fire day. If it ain't snow covered, some fires are going to kick off. So, I mean, these are super tight winds. These are going to be crazy winds with that system right there on Thursday, April 13th. Parts of Nevada and Utah and then all them. Look at the wind patterns, man. It's just going to be crazy windy Friday, April 14th. For the whole United States, man. It's going to be some crazy wind. And you get another system here on Friday, April 14th. Coming down from Canada. Snow, big time wind. And that storm's going to pretty much stay up to the north. These probably be more intensified by the time we get there. Rain bomb there for Texas. Developing Saturday, April 15th. And then here comes another severe rain bomb day. Not as much wind with this, but flooding rains over the farm countries. Saturday, April 15th. Over Illinois. And then crazy winds again Sunday, April 16th coming down. We got some kind of weird energy coming up. Could be tornadoes here for Colorado and Kansas on April 16th, Sunday, 2 weeks from now. Refires up. You know, now when we get storms, you should get a storm and that should stabilize the atmosphere. But it don't. It's like the train rain, man. These are train storms because the patterns have been manipulated. There's been particulates added to all these storms. So we're still on April 16th, Sunday, 2 weeks from now, major tornado outbreak. That'll be tornadoes. But don't look like it lasts too long. Let's go on into Monday, April 17th. Heavy snow for the upper northwest. And look, the rain bombs, like they're training back up in the very same spots the day before. Nothing's getting stabilized. Look at that. The next day, Monday, it just keeps on training up there. A little bit of a rain bomb there for Minnesota. Monday, April 17th. And kind of a break here till we get into April 18th, Tuesday. We could see some tornadoes up here in Minnesota, northern Iowa. Big storm coming in the west coast. Big heavy thunderstorms, snow. Let's go on up. Still on Tuesday, April 18th. More severe weather. Starting down in Texas, going up into Oklahoma, Iowa, tornadoes, Minnesota, lost my train of thought there. Wisconsin, not Wisconsin, but lost my train of thought. Heavy storm coming in on the west for April 18th. This is going to be another low pressure system coming in, firing up the same storms that you're going to be getting throughout this whole 16 days. Still raining Iowa. Going into Tuesday. Well, we're still on Tuesday. That's it on the whole thing. So the weather pattern is going to be the same as it's been for 2 months, other than we had the shipping industry missions out there, and every time they went out there, the 3 times they went out there, we had the 3 severe weather breakouts. So now we'll have to watch them here in the next couple of days and see if they fire back up. We're going to look at some other areas. So here's really our target zones for the moisture. See if that one there don't stay off into the ocean, then we're going to have another one right over Virginia, North Carolina, and then all the way from Texas all the way up in the same spots as the last couple of weeks. All right, let's check some other areas. Let's go ahead and check Europe. Yeah, we definitely got more tornadoes coming for Iowa. So it looks like Iceland's going to get hammered. Norway's normally they get hit a lot more, but they may have the IceCat ionospheric heater cranked up over here, keeping the moisture away. The northwest side of the UK is going to get hit pretty good. Northern Ireland, even Italy and all these places down here is getting hit pretty good. Go ahead and check New Zealand, where all the doomsday bunkers are. So they're not going to get much of anything. Normally they get really hit on the west side. So they're getting quite a bit of moisture, but the areas that normally get it aren't getting it here. Tasmania is going to get it. Let me get squared up on Australia. So it looks like we got a system that's going to blow in. Could be maybe a little, not a cyclone, but close to it, like a severe semi-subtropical cyclone, or whatever they want to call it. They'll be burning the place down. Go ahead and check East Asia. Looks like we're definitely going to have some cyclones forming out here. See some storms above Guam. Japan's looking pretty good. They're getting a little break. You know, they use all kinds of cloud seeding operations, shooting rockets up over here in China, controlling their weather. You get all kinds of articles about it. Just a quick Google search. See, let's just do the whole world. Look, it looks like all the moisture's over here. Like, how's all the moisture over in one spot? Anyway, that's the 16-day forecast. Let's go check some other stuff out. Let me just check the aircraft. Okay, so no stuff going on there. Let's go ahead and check the watches and warnings here. In fact, let me start a new tab and we'll check. I'd like to have 3 different ones up. First, let me go here and check the watches and warnings. Check the active warnings. So no tornadoes right this minute. But we got some severe thunderstorms, 50 and 60 mile an hour winds in Louisiana, Texas. All the tornadoes are going to start popping off anytime. And then let me get one going with that way if one pops off, we'll jump over and check it out. Yeah, I never give up. That's why I forced myself to work, man. I lost so much weight. I look like a skeleton. But now I'm starting to get a little bit back. It's going to take a while. Definitely in a spiritual war right now. Even if you're not spiritual, man, we're definitely there. So if you're not spiritual, which you don't have to be, but you could use your frequencies or anything to try to change what's going on. Let me go ahead and play this. Watch how the radars, when they're turned down, the storm's flowing that way. They push it with the radars going up or slow the storm down. Like if it's coming at them and they turn them up, it'll slow the storm down. When they turn it off, it flows right through. All these things have been upgraded to omnidirectional phased array antennas. Not every single one of them, but a lot of them. They had $1 billion, I can't remember how much, $8 billion upgrades. Whoa, you see look over here in New Mexico. Watch the radar. It just blows up. That's cranking it up. Where was that at? It'll just blow up all of a sudden. Right there. Whoa. That's like all the wind farms and solar farms and stuff. All these little bright spots. Here, let me zoom in. So we're down here in Texas, and once this starts cycling, you see all this, what looks like rain. It's not rain. These are all wind farms, solar farms, and they're putting off heat. This thing is detecting heat. I mean, that's what we're looking at. So all these are creating heat, and they're supposed to be green energy. But they're actually creating their own heat. And then the wind farms are affecting the local weather, but they also affect long-range weather. We've gone over it plenty of times in the broadcast where they can actually steer the mid-latitude part of the cyclone with the wind farms, for thousands of miles away. The articles are out there. Man, it's like a lightning show here with all the radars. Let me get back out. And get the full screen. Now, somebody asked about bunker fuel. First thing you do is just type in ship tracks so you know what you're looking for. Just type in ship tracks, and then this will give you some hit the images. Oh wow, it's not showing it. Wow, that's weird. They must have messed with the let me try cloud brightening. What in the world? I can't type. It's so weird. I usually just can type in okay, here we go. So when you look on the map, which I show all the time, and I'll show it here in a second here. So they look like these here. These are all from the aviation or the shipping industry, all these lines. And I can show you to it different ways. You see a lot of the cloud, they call it cloud brightening operations, cloud whitening. They shoot cannons. It's called marine cloud brightening. And I can show you right now. Let's go back to when that bunker fuel operation started. Like right here, we have a huge operation right here. See if we can turn this enhancement on and see them. And every time they do this, it affects the weather. See, they started up here from the Aleutian Island chains. I mean, a major bunker fuel operation. So now we know what they look like. We just go in, what kind of fuel do they burn? And you just type in fuel oil. And I'll take you to Wikipedia. Fuel oil. This is distillation of petroleum, crude oil. Such oils include distillates, lighter fraction residues. It's heavy oil. It's called heavy fuel oil, marine fuel oil, bunker fuel, furnace oil. And all you gotta do is go down to the health impacts, and this will blow your mind. So here we are at the health impacts. Because of the low quality of the bunker fuel when burned, especially harmful to the healthy humans, causing serious illness and deaths. The shipping industry air pollution was estimated to cause around 400,000 premature deaths each year from lung cancer, cardiovascular disease, as well as 14 million childhood asthma cases each year. That's why they call the West Coast the Asthma Alley. So 14 million kids are getting asthma each year from the shipping industry. Shouldn't that be a health concern? Why are they not doing anything about that? And then when you add in the aviation part, we're being completely poisoned from above and below. Let's go check their active warnings again. So now we got some 50 and 60 mile an hour winds popping up in Louisiana. Go ahead and check this. I don't have to watch his warnings on here, but I do have them on this one. Man, I take tons of turmeric. So we can see the blizzards going on in South Dakota, parts of Nebraska, and then major winter storms. We got tornado warnings still popping off down in Texas, Louisiana, heavy thunderstorms. We'll bring up the Texas radar in a minute. See, a lot of the rivers are already up in these areas that will be getting hit in the growing season, right in the growing area. Go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and check the space weather. We checked it today. That affects some stuff. Solar winds up a little bit, 476 kilometers a second. This weekend's a little quiet. No threat for strong solar flares. I filmed the sun a little bit today. I mean, the sky was kind of messed up. I haven't got to, I might have processed like one picture, but I couldn't get focused because of all the wind and dust up there. Had crazy auroras lately. We do have activity on the far side of the sun. Let's see if I got a what pictures I got. So far for April, I only have 2 pictures. Here's my one little picture of the sun. I got a whole bunch of process. I took them all today. And I just had one moon shot. In fact, I need to use the bathroom, so let me see. I'm gonna mute out, and then here here's that picture. I think this is a video of that picture there. So I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna go use the bathroom here. Why ain't it playing? All right, here, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back here. All right, let me get this back going. Here, I'll show you one more of these. I zoomed in pretty good. This was yesterday night. I think I did these before the show. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek. But yeah, it was okay clear. It's just so windy. But I mean, I'm zoomed in there pretty dang good. And I'll be making a video with this. Clear, this is just kind of this program displays are weird files. They're not AVIs, they're like called SIR files. And I had to have a special player to play these things. All right, let me get out of there. Let's check the some of the earthquakes here. Let me check this real quick. Let me refresh this. Okay, so we're still good there. Let me bring up the earthquake thing. Well, if it'll load for us here. See, did it load somewhere else? I got 3 desktops. I don't know. There it is. Oh, we just had a 3.9 earthquake over here by the Cascadia. So all we need is like some a big earthquake to go off. That would really finish us. So here we are with that big quake. Look at that. We had a couple deep earthquakes on each side of it. So all that energy is going to come up and around, over and across. So now we got, you know, threats of some bigger earthquakes. Go check the USGS. Sometimes I have a hard time getting, yeah, right on there. This thing takes forever to load. So it's a 3.8 off the coast of Oregon. We've had a 5.5 earthquake in the South China Sea. Wonder if that's actually an earthquake or some kind of a ignition or something like that. Well, while that's loading, let me get my browser back up wherever it went. There we go. Still good there. So let me show you what the shipping industry looks like with nitrogen and sulfur. Oh, I already got one up over here. Here's the energy that's coming in right now. This is what's going to be forming the tornadoes tonight, along with all the particulates that's been injected into the clouds. But if I put this thing on the whoa, where's my thing? What's going on here? It's like my mode is different. Oh, there we go. Somehow it wasn't on a... Well, they changed some stuff around. Hey, what's going on here? How come I'm not seeing it? No data. Let me go back a day. Actually, let's go back 2 days. Hey man, they stole our nitrogen. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Man, I was freaking out. I'm like, where'd it go? So all these straight lines, these are from the shipping industry. You can see the, let me take the winds off. You can see the shipping from Hawaii over to California. You got this big track from New Zealand down to South America. Check out this big thick liner coming up from South Africa, goes up to Dakar. All these lines are the shipping industry pollution. You know, they want to blame it on the cows. How about this? This is what's killing 400,000 people a year. And you can also see it with the sulfur. It's high in sulfur. And some research has come through showing that all these heavy metal particulates that are being injected into the cloud, which they call it cloud brightening, cloud whitening, is making the lightning more intensified. That's why the storms are more intensified at night. They also found in the research that the storms can follow these shipping lanes, and they're everywhere. We can look at the carbon monoxide surface concentrations. And this is probably the worst I've seen the United States since probably last year, late summer. So we got some high amounts down here in California. I don't know why. It could be fires. Down to the south, not sure. It's always high there and always high here, but it's like extra high. Probably all the wind kicking it up. They talk about emissions and carbon monoxide and all that. We're pretty clear. And then when we come over here, then we can see India and China is completely covered. This would have to be fixed before any kind of anything's going to be done. Yep, the cruise ships use the same fuel. When they're close to shore, they burn the good fuel. It's when they get out off the coast is when they crank on the bunker fuel. It's got to be heated. It's so thick to run through the lines. And there's what they look like. And every time they do that, it depends on how long the mission is. If it's like a 2-week mission, we get a big time weather pattern change. If it's these little 3-4 day missions, then that intensifies the storms, the several storms that are coming up. Man, I forgot to shut the window and the dog's just out there barking away. Probably a possum or raccoon out there or something. Let me try to refresh this page. Like I said, if you go back through history, and there's so many human testings that our government has done on the unsuspecting people. Syphilis, poison fog out off the coast of California. We got a tornado. Bossier, Louisiana, Caldwell. Here, let me get the information on this. Tornado warning issued for Marion, East Central, Harrison. Oh, that one says it's canceled. So they canceled that one. Inch and a quarter hail. See, the hail is going to start going up even higher. We've had some 1 3/4 inch hail in Gregg, Texas, Harrison, Texas. 1 inch hail, Louisiana. Some more 1.5 inch, 1.25 Texas. I guess we could look at the radar just for the heck of it. Like I said, if you haven't looked at the Declaration of Independence, it's time. Read up on it. If you haven't read it, reread it. Yeah, look at that. There's a pretty big hail core. That's probably the storm they were talking about. And look at this weird thing down here. That looks like chaff. Let's go change this one radar into the cirrus clouds, the man-made aircraft clouds. We get to watch his warnings off. All right, now let me put an enhancement on here. Now we should be able to see him better. So we can see all kinds of aircraft trails being deployed over the Bajas down New Mexico going into Texas. This whole thing is being tons of aerosols coming into that from the aircraft. Also up in Canada coming down, setting up for these storms. So no like super standing out. I mean, you got one down here, but it's not too major. Plus everybody in chat can, if you're getting blasted, you could just put where you're at that's getting blasted. Let's go ahead and check some stuff here. Let's put on the some of the 2-day stuff. So this will tell us where all the main storms are going to be here in the next couple days. They're really not showing that severe, but they're going to be a lot probably more severe than what they're showing here. Actually, maybe I need the 3-day. There we go. Had to put it on 3 days. So here's the tornado zones in the next 3 days. You got Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, most of Missouri, and then going up into Illinois. And then once we go over, it's going to be just over a little ways. So that's what we got looking forward to here to about 3 days. 2 to 3 days. We check the Texas radar to see what kind of damage reports. We get rid of that tab. All right, where is... Oh man, I forgot what I was doing. What in the heck was I doing? Burleson, Texas. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1 inch hail. Man, I completely forgot what I was doing. Wow. I have no idea what I was going to show. Hey, thanks out there, Ira Beam. Wow, what the heck was I going to show? Man, I completely lost my train of thought. Let me take them off. Let's put on the lightning. That will show us what all the, you know, all them heavy metal particulates, they're metal flakes, so they create tons of lightning. Look at that lightning round. Look over here. Crazy out there. So as we go into nighttime here, look at them. They all flash at once like a pulse hit it. Look at the lightning right there. Here, let me zoom in on this. Whoa, that's weird looking. So watch how these all pulse out at once. Boom. They're all firing up at the same time. And I'm like too little. I didn't get to read what you said there, Captain. Let me see if I can scroll up. For some reason, my chat, I can only scroll up so far, and I miss out on all the messages. I'm taking everything in good. I'm all good. I'm getting better. Had that big time problem with the, thanks out there, Tigo. Yeah, I don't see the super chat, but once in a while here. Yeah, we're breathing in nanoparticle soup for sure. Yeah, we didn't even get into the electronic part of it. All the cloud ionizers and all the other stuff. Ground-based cloud seeders, we show them all the time. So look at all that lightning. Look at that beam. There's that beam again. Coming from Alabama. Or actually, it could be Florida. Shooting that down low. And what in the world are these? Look at that. They're all going different directions. That's the rotation, the high level shear. So yeah, it's going to be a tough night. We're going to have more nighttime tornadoes. Refresh this. Well, the beams, like the weird beams, if this thing's supposed to rotate. Now, when you get a beam that's just shooting out and it's there for more than 5 or 7 minutes, you got to watch how long that thing is running. It'll affect the weather. It's called searchlight mode. And it's putting off pretty high frequencies when they got it beaming in just one area. So you're like cooking the sky in that area. They're not supposed to let that thing run for more than 5 to 7 minutes. Let me see if we got one running a long time here. What layer do I have? That's just, I don't have it on the right layer here. Let's see. We'll see if we got one going here. I know there was one over here. Okay, there it is. So let me see how long it's running. Like I said, if it's more than 5 to 7 minutes, there's regulations on it. So it starts at 23:30 and it goes to 00, so 23:30. So that thing's cooking for like 30 minutes. So they're cooking this area, and guess what? That's fueling the storm. And then you got the convective energy, the high level wind shear. Boom, we have a tornado outbreak for the nighttime. So anyway, guys, that's the 16-day forecast. And if, like I said, if I may pop off some videos in the morning times if I can. So I just pop them off once in a while. I'll probably go up and do some filming for a little bit tonight. And then I'll process some of the sun videos I got today. Hopefully tomorrow, I can't remember if tomorrow's going to be clear or not. If it is, hopefully I can get some decent. It's been so hazy, I can't focus really, really good on the sun. Like I did get some good video of the moon. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. Much love, armor up, eyes to the sky. And we're definitely in a spiritual battle. There was some weird thing. You know, this is the beginning of Holy Week. And something happened somewhere where they did that wafer, and it's supposed to be like water comes out. And it ended up being some kind of crazy miracle. And it was a drop of a heart, blood of a heart, instead of what normally goes there. Some kind of crazy thing. I forgot to look that up. And that's the way many Americans are, man. Our hearts are bleeding for what's going on. So definitely spiritual. Even if you don't think it is, man, it's good versus evil. And we know prayers work and all that stuff. So armor up, guys, out of the sky. And we'll do just a chicken outro. All right, guys, armor up. Much love. Eyes to the sky. What's wrong with our drummer, man? He ain't moving. right, we're gonna have to fire him.